everybody, and thanks for joining Stamp with Tracy for today's Well Wednesday. Today we're going to be working with a stamp set that's out of the annual catalog. It is called Forever Fern, and you can find that on page 73 of our annual catalog. And you can purchase separately some dies that go with it. I'm not going to be using them tonight, but look at all the pieces to these dies. It's an absolutely wonderful die set, and that can be found in the annual catalog on page 171. So we're going to be working with this today using the stamps. And we're also going to be working with the Stampin' Cut Emboss 3D embossing folder called Fern. This can be found in the annual catalog as well, and with the embossing folders. Again, it's called Fern. And I'm also going to be using the layering circle dies, which can be found in the annual catalog on page 172. So it comes with all of these circles, different sizes that you can layer with scallop edges. They have different little designs on them, and then just the regular circles to cut out as well. This is not part of it. It's just a single die that I store in here for storage space. And I wanted to talk to you about a few items that are available, additional items that are available. I did mention those when they became available August the 2nd, so that was about 2 weeks ago. I know on my Facebook page it is pretty hard to see the print and information, but these are more items that were added to celebrate. So during celebration, if you purchase a $50 order, you can pick out one of the free items at $50 spent, or if you spend up to $100, you can either choose to get 2 of the 50s or one of the $100 items. So there are several embossing folders that were added: the timber, gingham, seashells. Then there was the craft gift boxes, which is another awesome little gift, and the silver foil paper that comes in 3 different shades of silver, a really deep, a light, and a medium silver. And then this brushed metallic 12 by 12 cardstock as well. Absolutely gorgeous. It's champagne, gold, and copper. And I know that you can't see it in here to appreciate it, but here is the absolutely gorgeous gold. And I will be using that tonight on the card. And then out of the regular celebration brochure, there are items that can be chosen, and we're going to be using one of those tonight, the silver and gold 6x6 specialty paper. We'll be using that on our project tonight. And I think that might cover everything, so let's go ahead and get started stamping. You do have a few weeks left for celebration. It'll be over before we know it. So I'm going to start out with Mossy Meadow 8.5 by 5.5, and I have that scored at 4 1/4, so that it becomes my card base. Then I have a piece of garden green. This garden green, I just don't tend to use it much, and I don't know why, because it's an absolutely beautiful green color. And that fawn embossing folder is just beautiful. As you can see, the texture it adds to that piece. And then here's the piece of the specialty paper, and this was cut at 2 3/4 by 3 7/8. So we're going to layer that onto there. But before we do that, what we're going to do with it is we're going to color it with our blending brushes and the garden green ink. Now, when I use my blending brushes, I always like to have a piece of scrap paper below me, because when I come onto the paper, I like to start off of the paper first, so that I don't have really dark markings, which a lot of time you'll get when you go right to your paper. And I just always like to start off on a piece of scrap paper first. Sorry, I know this is shaking the table when I do this. I'm trying to keep it to a minimum as best as possible. So I'm just adding color. Again, starting off on my scrap paper first until I get this specialty paper. That's the silver and gold specialty paper till I get it the color that I want and the blending that I want. And I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to take my stamp and seal, and I'm going to layer that on top of my Fern embossed garden green. And what I'm going to do is take a look at it to try to make my border all the way around the same. So there we have it. And then I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper, take a piece of some Mossy Meadow ribbon. Not quite sure whether this ribbon is still available in the regular catalog or not, but you know it's available, if not this style, but some type of Mossy Meadow ribbon, of course. So I'm going to add that. So we have at the bottom of our card, we have the beautiful specialty paper, and at the top, we'll be showing that beautiful fern piece. I think I want to come down a little bit further so that fern piece shows more. So I'm going to come down to the very, very top of that specialty paper. Okay, then we're going to add that specialty paper onto our card base. And anytime that you have embossed some paper, you want to be very careful adding our stamp and seal, because that does break down the paper, and the stamp and seal is so nice and strong. You want to make sure that you don't accidentally tear any of your paper. Okay, so here we have my card base, and we're adding this on so we have a nice even edge all the way around. There we go. And this just isn't creased perfectly, so I think I'm going to come back in here again with my bone folder and give myself a better crease there so it lays better. Then we're going to stamp on a small circle cut out of those circle dies, and again the garden green. I'm going to take the little speckled stamp that is in that stamp set, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to add the very light little speckles into the background of that circle. Then I have the word hello, and I'm going to add that in full strength with the garden green. And then I'm going to come in and stamp with some beautiful leaves from that stamp set. For my hello. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to use my stamp and seal again and add a little bit to it and put it on top of that beautiful gold metallic paper. You do want to be careful when you purchase that to make sure that you protect that, keep it in its packaging, because it can scratch very easily. Then we'll take some dimensionals because we want to pop that up on there. And we'll add that beautiful little hello right there. And then also I'm going to come in, and I could have done this actually before I added it to this, would have been the best case scenario, but I want to stamp on this paper here. So I'm just going to put a piece of scrap paper so I don't get it anywhere else. And then add that beautiful leaf down the bottom there. And I've already made a little bow out of that same ribbon. So we'll add that. And then I'm going to use the open leaf trinkets that is in the July to December mini, and glue dots. Now what I did with this was I took and went right to my glue dot, and I don't know if you can see that on there or not, but the glue dot is actually bigger than this, and I don't want that sticking through and catching anything else on it. So I just take your pick tool and use the point to fold that over. And I've actually done that 3 times. And I'm adding that beautiful trinket onto the card. I just think that's gorgeous. Really, really looks nice. Between the metallic paper and the gold trinket, really steps up that card. So now let's do a little something on the inside. And we'll do this on the inside to carry the leaves from the outside of our card. To the inside. Because I always like to do that. I also don't like to have naked envelopes, so I'll stamp that on my envelope as well. So now we'll take this and we'll add it to the inside of our card. And then I will take my envelope and again add that to the outside and also on the flap. Just making it at different heights. Isn't that pretty? So there we have a beautiful card, and we earned some of the items that we used on here by celebration purchases. Other things were just directly through the catalog. Here's another one that I made. And this one I did with the designer series paper at the top and the fern at the bottom, just to give you an idea of what it looks like going that way. So I hope you liked today's Well Wednesday. And don't forget, on Well Wednesdays, you need to like and comment. Remember, both like and comment on the video for a chance to win these beautiful 2 cards. And if you would like to place an order before the end of August, I would very much appreciate you using my August host code, as I will have links with this information as well to purchase the stamps set or the dies and the stamp set, the dies, and the trinkets, so that you can just click on those and add those to your order. Or I will just have the information there, so with the item numbers, so you can go ahead and add that to your order along with the host code. So thanks again for joining me, everyone, and I hope you liked today's Well Wednesday. Don't forget to like and comment. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.